In this video, we're going to do a modified torture test of two of the most powerful, durable, and battle-tested drills available on the market today. Coming up next. What's going on, folks? Kendall here with Renos for Pros and Joes, helping you simplify the renovation and remodeling process. On this channel, we do renovation tip and strategy videos, as well as hands-on product tooling gear reviews. So if you're interested in renovation, remodeling, repair, maintenance, or real estate, then subscribe, because this channel and this content is for you. So if you've been tuned in for a while, you may have seen a recent video where I talked about how I burnt up a $200 drill while I was in the process of drilling multiple 6-inch holes in the ceiling to prepare for LED can lights. And in that video, I also showed you the drill that I used to complete the job that did not give me any problems at all. Well, in this video, I'm bringing that drill back out with its little brother, and we're going to torture test both of them. We're not going to go too extreme, but let me show you the drills that I'm talking about. So this is the drill from the previous video. This is a Milwaukee super hole shooter. This is a 22-pound or 23-pound drill. And as far as I know, this is the most powerful drill that is available on the market. And second, we have its little brother, which is the compact hole shooter, which is also a very versatile and powerful drill. So today we're going to do several different tests on these two drills to compare them. We're going to, of course, be drilling some 6-inch holes, and we're not going to be doing drywall. We're going to be doing OSB. We're also going to be drilling holes through double plates here and test it that way. And then we'll cap it all off with mixing some concrete and some 5-gallon buckets. Now that last test is going to be slightly outside of the comfort zone of either one of these drills, and it's not typically recommended for that type of use, but we're going to try it out and just see how it goes. And in the end, I will give you my thoughts on both and how they stacked up against one another. So enough talking, let's jump into it. Alright guys, we just went through with the compact hole shooter and drilled 3 holes consecutively. No problems getting it in there. As you can see, it's a really tight fit. And as you can see on this drill, you can see when I was taking my hand off of the trigger, you can see how much power it has. Either one of these drills has enough power to easily break your wrist if you don't know what you're doing. So you got to be careful when you're working with these type of tools, of course. So we just finished drilling 3 holes with the compact. Let's jump over to the super and see how this one does. So as you can see, these are the 3 holes that were drilled with the super shooter, and these 3 were drilled with the compact. So everything went smoothly and no real complaints with using either one of the tools. Let's move on to the next test, which is going to be drilling those 6-inch holes. All right, now we're moving on to the 6-inch holes. We're going to drill 3 with each one of these drills. We're going to see how it performs. This is just a standard OSB. So let's see how this thing does. You got to make sure when you're using these things to keep it in a steady position, because as I said before, you can really beat up your wrists if you don't. Move on to the next hole. All right, we got 3 holes down, 3 to go. All right, now we're geared up with the super hole shooter. Let's go ahead and drill hole number 1. Stuck in there again. All right, third time's gonna be the charm. There's number 3. So we've got 2 tests down. We've done our long drill bit, and we've done our 6-inch holes with the hole saw. So let's move on now to mixing our concrete. All right, folks, now it's time to test these 2 drills out by mixing up some concrete. I've got my first 5-gallon bucket here, and I've got my concrete over here to my left-hand side. So I'm gonna start filling this bucket, then we're gonna add water, and then we're gonna mix. We're gonna start off with the compact hole shooter first and see how that one performs. Then we're gonna jump over to the super hole shooter. Okay guys, we've drilled holes with 16-inch drill bits, we've cut 6-inch holes with 6-inch hole saws, and we've mixed up 80-pound bags of concrete in 5-gallon buckets. And so now I'm going to give you my overall thoughts on each one of these drills. First of all, both of them are very, very powerful. When it came to drilling the holes with the 16-inch bit, both of them cut through the wood relatively easily. The biggest advantage I would say to the smaller drill is that it's smaller overall. So if you're in an interior application, you need to be able to put this thing in between stud spacing and things like that. This drill, I can see how this would be a major advantage, or if you're in a crawl space or something like that, you've got to lug one of these two things around. This would obviously be a little bit less cumbersome to move around because it's approximately half the weight of this one. However, I will say that this one cut the holes a little bit easier, but that would be to expected because it is a more powerful drill. So from the compact standpoint, I would say that this would be your choice. If you're going to be cutting holes in an open area with no restrictions and no boundaries in place, then I would say this would probably be what I would grab first of all. I also noticed very obviously when using these two drills is that this drill spins a lot faster than this one does. But even though this one spins faster, this one has more power. So that's another thing to keep in mind. On to the 6-inch holes that we cut with the 6-inch hole saw. We had some technical difficulties using the super hole shooter, but that was more on me than on the machine itself. Both of them did a very good job. I would say that generally speaking that the compact one cut a bit cleaner hole overall, but we were cutting through OSB, which is kind of a raggedy compressed material anyway. But I would give the edge to this tool. However, working with this tool felt a little bit safer, believe it or not, because the blade was not spinning as fast. I was not as concerned of it getting out of whack and having to be able to try to control it. However, on the flip side, even though this one was spinning faster, it's a much smaller and compact machine and it's not nearly as powerful. So I felt I had a lot more control with it when I had it like this. This drill also has a spiraled hole in the top so that you can put in a pipe like the one that's in this one. However, I did not feel like I was missing anything not having it on there when doing these applications, simply because this drill is a lot more manageable from a size and form factor. So on to the mixing of the concrete. As you can see, I changed up here between one and the other one, and I would say that generally speaking, both of these tools did a very good job. However, I would give the edge on mixing concrete to the super hole shooter, and that's just simply because it has so much more power. You can almost just let it sit there in the bucket and just pull on the trigger and let it spin. Even when you're trying to mix it around and kind of move and maneuver the drill around, no problems there. It mixed it very easily. And another thing that it didn't do was it didn't whip the aggregate out of the mix. That was one of the problems that I noticed with mixing this one. And that's just why my first batch I felt like was a little bit more soupy. Of course, we had a little bit more water added into that one, which was on me. However, I noticed that when I pulled the trigger down on this one and left it like that, it was really just spinning a little bit too fast, and it was knocking the rocks or pulling the rocks out of the mix. So I would give the edge to that one. So on this day, with this torture test going through the 16-inch drill bit, the 6-inch hole saw, and mixing up 80-pound bags of concrete, I will have to give the edge to the super hole shooter. However, both of these tools are excellent tools for general construction work and are multiple steps above your standard run-of-the-mill drills. I'll have links to both of these tools in the description box below. Hopefully you found this video informative. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.